Please, where is federal government going to get the money to fund the salary increment for politicians in Nigeria? Because I just heard that the salaries of our politicians, our presidents, vice presidents, the governors, the senators, House of Rep members, the judges' salaries have been increased by 114%. 114%, not even 20% increment, not 50% increment, not 100% increment, but 114% increment. So which means if president is earning 54 million naira in a year, now he'll be earning about 108 to 109 million naira in a year. That money comes from somewhere, right? A governor who earns like 11 to 12 million naira in a year will now get to earn about 24 to 25 million naira in a year, right? So where exactly are they going to get money for that in this time? Shebi, they said we do not have money, that it is because government does not have money to fund the fuel subsidy. That was why the fuel subsidy was removed, making life hard and difficult for Nigerians. You increase the fuel pump price, added 7.5% VAT, and now they increase the salary of the politicians. What exactly did the politician do to deserve salary increments? Because I really don't get. If we are saying we don't have money, that Nigeria is owing, we have debt all over, then why increase the salaries of the politicians who are already being overpaid when we have 133 million Nigerians living in abject and multidimensional poverty? If we're even talking about salary increment, shouldn't it be the civil servants? Their minimum wage is still 30,000 naira. It has not been increased. And President is asking Nigerians to make further sacrifices. Because on National Democracy Day, President Tinubu said that Nigerians should please make more sacrifices. But the politicians cannot make sacrifices. Must their salaries be increased? People who are being overpaid already, who have allowances in place, can't they make sacrifice? Can't they reject the salary increment? Or it is the poor alone that should make sacrifice, right? Nigerian citizens should continue to pay their taxes while the politicians eat them up. Is that the case? The government should go to wherever they are getting money to fund the increase in the salary of the politicians, to also fund our fuel subsidy, so that fuel price can return back to 195 naira. Even Nigerians living in abject and multidimensional poverty. If we're even talking about salary increment, shouldn't it be the civil servants? Their minimum wage is still 30,000 naira. It has not been increased. Has anybody find the cost of living recently funny in Nigeria? With the high cost of transportation, the high cost of utility bills, schools are increasing their school fees. Even landlords are increasing their house rent. Yet, the government couldn't think of a way to alleviate the suffering of the people due to this fuel subsidy removal. There's no palliative put in place, no measures put in place to help people. But the next thing is to increase the salaries of the politicians who have allowances aside their salaries. They are entitled to wardrobe allowance, they are entitled to housing allowance, health allowance, they are entitled to feeding allowance, they are even entitled to even vehicle maintenance allowances. When they go on leave, they get leave allowance. Their children, their wife are placed on allowance. They are already being overpaid as it is. You do not look at poor masses, the people contributing to the growth of Nigeria, the teachers, the doctors, the engineers, the lawyers. You do not think of increasing their salary, but you are increasing the salary of the politicians. Nigeria is a joke. Nigeria is a joke. This is the height of insensitivity. This is unfair. This is unjust. This is pure wickedness. And our president Tinubu is saying, let the poor breathe. How can the poor breathe like this? When the minimum wage is still 30,000 naira, that minimum wage, which is 30,000 naira, can barely buy a bag of rice. Life is so difficult because everything has increased. There's no palliative put in place to cushion the effect of this fuel subsidy removal that has affected everything. But our politicians' salaries are being raised by 114%. Wow, what a renewed hope. Is this the renewed hope we are being promised? Because within the 3 weeks of President Tinubu's assumption to office, a lot has happened. From fuel price increase, diesel price increase, electricity tariff increase, goods and services increase, transportation costs very high, food stuff in the market very high. Life is so hard for the poor, and they're saying that even the poor and the rich people, the poor and the rich are feeling the heat of this first subsidy. How? When the rich salary has just been increased by 140%, even without the salary increment, they are not feeling it at all. They have their businesses to fall back on. The politicians have government to fall back on because it is the government that is funding their lifestyle. And you guys do not even think about the vulnerable Nigerian. The Nigerians are struggling to make ends meet. The Nigerian earning 30,000 naira salary but will have to pay 45,000 naira for transportation because of fuel subsidy removal, because of increase in prices of everything. But you guys are increasing the salary of politicians. May God judge all of you. May God judge all of you. And as usual, nobody is going to talk because Nigeria can adapt to every situation. We are strong like that. We are built like that. We are Africa. But I hope we can see this in the next 2 months, because even the Agbado community, the obedient and the articulated, we are all going to feel this heat together.